Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone? Merry Christmas, of course, even though I don't think everyone is here yet. Merry Christmas, and I hope that you're all doing well and spending this amazing holiday with your families, your loved ones, and if you can't do it with the family, hopefully with some close friends. So, as usual, I'll be waiting for just a couple of seconds for more people to join in. Of course, I can already see Alec. It's nice to see you. So I'll wait a couple of seconds and then we'll dive into everything. Last week was pretty choppy, right? But even then, we'll do the recap still. But we gave you this level that was on Tuesday, I think we did the update. So down there we did the update. That was one of the level that we gave, which did offer the high of the week. Is shorting at 93.5 still safe? Well, we'll talk about the shorts above. Don't worry, we'll talk about the trading plans and the potential trades. 93.5, I mean, yeah, we'll talk about it. So with that said, I think everything should be good, right? We're live, sound should be fine, right? If anyone could confirm, is the sound good? Let me do this. So looks like more people are joining in now. Hello everyone, Merry Christmas. We should have put some music. Don't you guys think? Do you want me to put some music? But in any case, I won't waste any more time yapping. Let's do the weekly recap. We'll start with the announcements, then the weekly recap, and finally we'll dive into today's price action. So for the announcements, a couple of seconds. If you want to trade with a 30% fee discount on Bitunix, you can go ahead and sign up with our referral link, which is available down in the description of this live stream. And of course, if you want to get access to our imbalance indicator, which always help me give you accurate level, like this one at $90,200, it will also be available in the description of this video. So moving on to the weekly recap, well, this week I mainly took two trades. In the last live stream, I wanted to see a move down on Monday, which we did expect. Okay, so let's do the recap. Was that when I woke up? Yeah, okay, so that was Monday. We had seen the bounce. Oh, please tell me that this, okay, so we had seen the bounce with the front run of our support. Okay, our support was down there below the low. We had seen a decent bounce, but personally, I still wanted to see lower prices because I didn't like the current low. After that, price did reverse to the downside. Personally, I didn't look for a short position, which was a bit of a mistake since I heavily expected lower prices. We reached our support, which was around $87,000. I did take my long position, which ended in a loss. Okay, so that was a loss on the long side. But remember, very quickly, I had opened another long position at 84, which I had closed at $92,000 pretty much. So not a big deal on this loss because it was just some of the profits that I had made on the previous long. And then after this, when we did an update on Tuesday, I had two levels. The first one was $88,000, if this can freaking load. So $88,000. Guess what happened? We moved up into it, we got the rejection, and I did indeed open my short position at $88,000. Instantly placed my stop loss to entry, and then the next day, price came back up, stopped me out of my short position at $88,000 at entry. And at this point, we knew what was next, $90,200. Guess what happened again? We moved into our second level, 90.2. And well, is it a surprise? We got a massive rejection right from our resistance level. For me, I didn't short it. I've already explained why. I was just done trading for the day and for the week. And after that, I didn't take any more trades, just a bit of analysis. We did have also this potential pump after 87.7, which kind of played out, not fully, but we'll talk about it. And yeah, okay, so that was mainly it. Two trades taken, one loss, one break even. Not my best week, but not a bad one. Just one loss at 87, one break even at 88, and 90.2, of course, offered the high of the week. So with all that said, what can we look for this week? Well, we still have this ugly low to the downside. Okay, that is one thing to know. This is an extremely ugly low, which will be taken out in my opinion. The only thing that I'm thinking about is, do we take it out instantly? So open the week and get a Monday dump. That's not really what I'm expecting at this point, just because we have all of these highs that are super close to price action. And I could see something where we kind of drop maybe a bit and then rotate to the upside on Monday, so tomorrow. Now, if we get that pump to the upside, I do want to outline one level that we didn't talk about on YouTube. Well, on the 4 hour, we have a 4 hour imbalance. Okay, so this was a 4 hour imbalance. You can see it offered a rejection. We have another 4 hour imbalance up there. On the 1 hour, we have a 1 hour order block. Okay, I'm not going to take the order block. You can just take this level or this level. It doesn't really matter. For now, I'm going to take this one, $92,400 would be my main resistance to the upside. Okay, we have a 1 hour imbalance, 1 hour order block, 4 hour imbalance. Wi-Fi is a bit slow today, so 4 hour imbalance. And then on the higher time frames, it's a 12 hour open, which is very good actually. And on the daily, it's also a daily open with a daily order block. So we could actually take this area. That would be a bit better. We have a daily order block. I'll go back on the 4 hour. Well, it's still fairly small. So I'm shorting at 88. What? I'm shorting at 88. Well, I mean, I'm confused what you're referring to. What? I can't read your name, sorry. My entry is bad at 88k. Well, I mean, I don't know. If you short it up here, I just don't think it's the best, but that's just my view. It depends on your leverage, of course, your invalidation, your risk, but for me, that's not how I trade. In any case, to the upside, my level would be around $92,200, okay? This would be my area. Now, to the downside, the levels haven't changed. I would still like to see a sweep below 83.7, okay, to then see a pump or potentially a break of this low, 78 potentially, and then a reversal to the upside. Now, for a more specific scenario, what would be very nice to get, in my opinion, we can combine this with time. Where is it? Vertical line. Okay. So Monday again to Tuesday Asia. As you guys know, this is usually the timing that I would look for. If we can pump into tomorrow, so into Monday, I would look for a high to be put in up there either tomorrow or on Tuesday, okay, to then see a reversal to the downside. And then this would be your first target at $83,700. And of course, from there, we can see if we get a failed auction and then a reversal to the upside, or if we just continue lower and take out this low. So for now, that would be my main plan. Let me go on the lower time frames and try to make it just a bit. I mean, it's already easy to understand, I guess, but still. So maybe drop a bit, come back up to tomorrow, then come back down on Tuesday, and this would be your first target to the downside. So if we get this, of course, the timing will be very important. I will be looking for short positions tomorrow and going into Tuesday as well. So that would be my main Sunday plan. Okay. Now, apart from that, do I see much? Of course, we could dump first, but I'm not really expecting us to see a drop first. I think a lot of people right now are waiting for this low to get taken out. So if you move up, that could create a lot of FOMO, and then you reverse back down to take out this low. That's kind of my main thought process. Plus, remember, we still have the extremely ugly 4 hour wick to get recovered. No high, just dump. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think that would be my main plan, guys. That would be my main plan. A pump into tomorrow. And then I will be looking at that resistance above. That's how I would put it. That looks fairly nice. Of course, if we start breaking down, then for the long positions, I mean, nothing would have changed. I'd be looking for a liquidity grab below this level, okay, below 83.7 or below $80,000, around $78,000 potentially for a bigger reversal to the upside. So if we drop first, we know which levels we're looking for. If we pump first, we also know which levels we are looking at. So should be fairly simple here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I like it. I think I like it, except for the fact that this pump might look a bit too big. So we could need to start moving maybe today late at night. So maybe if we got one more drop and then reversed, maybe open the CME up there and then continue on pumping. If we spend too much time down there, then that could alter my plan. So yeah, I think that's what I would say for Bitcoin. Should be fairly simple. All right. Now we can move on to Ethereum. Ethereum, the plan also played out fairly well. I do remember this setup. I did check it during the week. This one played out extremely well. One of the long positions that I shared was a front run of this low. As you can see, I mean, it was drawn out right there. I took this low, but I wanted to see a front run of that low to then see a bounce to the upside. Guess what happened? We did drop. We did front run that low. And even though we didn't reach my target, this was still a very nice bounce of just over 5%. So actually, yeah, right around 5%. So from the low to the high, very nice bump of about 5%. And guess what? On the imbalances side, yes, you had 1 hour imbalance right there on the 1 hour, which didn't offer a rejection. But then the second one, this one offered the high for the reversal to the downside. And then below us, we had one support, which was also the target for the drop, as you can see right there. And this one also ended up holding quite well. We jumped into it, wicked through it on the 4 hour, offered a first bounce, but then came back down, took out the low once again, and also offered another bounce to the upside. So Ethereum played out fairly well. Fairly well. If that level had been hit, that would have been freaking perfect, but you can't get everything right, I guess. Now Ethereum is going to be a bit more complicated to analyze. Can remove this. I don't know about this level anymore. It's not too interesting. I'm going to keep it just for the sake of it. Could you look at Solana, please, brother? Of course, we'll take a look at Solana. I don't know if the plan this week for Ethereum will be as simple. Well, we definitely have these highs that will get taken out, just like Bitcoin. I don't know. Ethereum is a bit more, definitely be a bit more complicated. One sec. I'm just thinking, guys. I am just thinking. So if we get the same thing on Ethereum, we will pump towards this imbalance. Let me just remove the daily open. That's the daily open. So we have this imbalance up there. Now I'm gonna remove this. We do have this imbalance up there. Not the strongest one. I'm not the biggest fan of this one, so I don't think I would look for a short on Ethereum right there, but it's the only level that I see. Maybe something like this on Ethereum, and then take out this ugly low. Right? Boom, boom, and boom. Let me check something on Bitcoin. Did want to check the volume profile, which I haven't. So from this low, we have the point of control down there, which has been flipped into support. And how about from this low? Also the value area low. Point of control was up there actually in Confluence. And we had the previous point of control up there. Well, I'm gonna keep it like this for now on Bitcoin. Am I wrong on the pump first? Did we drop first? I really don't think we can drop. I mean, we can do anything, but kind of don't see how I don't see it happening. So yeah, the only reason that I'm looking at Bitcoin, uh, like re-looking at the scenario is because it's a bit different. You go on the 4 hour, you go on the 4 hour, you have two imbalances up here, which kind of looks like a top to me. So Ethereum could look like it kind of looks topped out for me. Of course, still I wouldn't short because it's Sunday. I don't think you want to be trading today, but I'm just worried about this volume coming up here. That's why, I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna keep it like this on Ethereum. But yeah, to the downside, you would probably still be looking at this support down below, which could offer a much bigger bounce going into 2026. Yeah, I don't mind this. The only problem, once again, guys, are these two 4 hour imbalances that are kind of bothering me. Bitcoin, it does look a bit different, I think. Yeah, we have one. It's a bit different, but it's fine. It's fine. So let's move on. Let's move on to Solana. We'll take a look at Bitcoin a bit more in the end. Solana, I told you guys, this coin just looks weak at this point. You probably want to avoid it. As soon as we lost my support right there, I did tell you that we probably have to expect this low to get taken out, which it did. But you can see the support offered a first bounce. Okay, and then it was flipped into resistance before continuing to the downside and taking out the low at $126. So for me, Solana still looks weak. Of course, this resistance would still be a pretty nice short if we can reach it. So for example, if we do something like this and then come back up, then this could offer a very nice short position for a continuation to the downside. Overall, Solana, it does look very likely that we will take out $96, which was the low that we put in April, which we did also give a support for. We also gave the high on Solana, if you remember. So this coin, we talked about it, that these were extremely good predictions on this coin. This low, and this high. And even the support was pretty good. So very good predictions on Solana on the higher time frames. But for now, I would say it does look pretty weak, and you should expect this low to get taken out at $100, at $96 to be more exact. But yeah, Solana, I would be cautious on the long positions. That's all I'm gonna say. Be cautious on the long positions. If you can pump into this resistance around 155, okay, so around 155. If you can pump into this resistance, then you can look for a reversal to the downside. One thing to note, of course, is that on this drop, you do have very nice volume. However, we have recovered this imbalance. Wow, to the dollar. This daily imbalance was recovered to the dollar. But yeah, still the volume is very nice on this drop, so we could be searching for a low soon on Solana to see the pump into 155. Where will we put in the low? This is where it becomes a bit more complicated, simply because you should just wait for a sign of strength and then some sort of a retest on Solana. Sign of strength would, what would be a sign of strength? Well, it would be a breakback potentially above this daily imbalance. So when you break above 130, then you can wait for retracement and then look for the long for a move up into 155. That would be the most logical play on Solana. It's a hard analysis here, I'm not gonna lie. It's not very easy to analyze here. Simply because you don't have any more support level, but the volume is very good. And also on Bitcoin, I am expecting a move into $96,000. Okay, so after this drop, I am gonna be looking for longs for a move up into 96 and potentially 99. So I do think that we will get a new high on Bitcoin, so above 94. It's just about, can we drop first to look for the longs, or do we just move up from here and then drop? So as I'm expecting 96 to 99 on Bitcoin, I would also expect 155 on Solana. It's just about finding the right long position. I'm fairly confident, by the way. Like, I'm very confident that we will take out these highs at 94. I don't think they're the best highs. Okay, guys. Hey everyone. Hello, Nunal. I hope you're well. So, not like I cannot provide you with the most accurate analysis on Solana. Just because I'm being honest, I just don't have any more support left. When I don't have any more support, I can't really help. All you can do is just wait for a sign of strength, a retracement, and then you look for the long. That's the best advice I can give you on the long side. On the short side, we know we have around 155. You have a very good level up there. Hello, Cryptal. I'm well, thank you for asking. Merry Christmas, by the way, if you're celebrating Christmas. I'm Christian, by the way, if anyone is wondering. So, of course, I'm celebrating Christmas. I talked about it before. Um, so should we end the live there, guys? Doesn't look like we're gonna have the most amount of questions today. I mean, gold is moving up, silver is just exploding to the upside. The stock market still kind of in this consolidation phase. What's happening to my area above on the S&P? Yeah, it's still above. Around $7,000 on the S&P. This one is still above. Thank you, Nunal, for the kind words. Hope you're well too. So if we don't have any more questions, guys, we're just gonna end it here. Let's be honest, because I think we've covered Bitcoin fairly well. Okay, we have one level to the upside. To the downside, the first one is not really a level, it's more of a liquidity sweep. So you look for a long below 83.7 and not at 83.7, of course. For $78,000, this is also going to be an area, but I think it's going to be a pretty tight one. Just around $78,000, this is where I would look for my long positions if we can reach it. So, any more questions? No, doesn't look like it. So, one last update on the Elliott wave count. Actually, I did want to talk about it, and I do believe that this scenario, okay, so to pump and then drop to then look for the long into 90, 96 to 99, I do think this is starting to line up very well with the Elliott wave count that we talked about a couple of times. I'm still looking at this one, and that would be if we remember that we have an extension. So that's a 1, 2. But then you have another 1, 2. So that is 3, 4, 5. And then you have another 4. And then another 5 to the downside. Now, this wave 5, if you're wondering, it can be truncated. So let's say we drop and we maintain this low at $80,000. This could still be considered as a truncated wave 5. So that would be 1, 2, 3, and that would be your wave 4 going into 2026, for then a wave 5 and a continuation lower to the downside. Something like this is what I'm currently looking at. It just looks very good. I think we have the liquidity below that is being built up with this ugly low that we put in on Thursday, and this low that is currently kind of considered a double bottom at this point. So this Elliott wave count to me is fairly important to keep an eye on. Okay, so when we drop, if we drop right now, I will be looking for this as a wave 5. It could be a truncated wave 5 as mentioned, or it could be just a move just below $80,000 to then see yet another wave 4, and then one final, I mean not a final, but one more wave 5 to the downside. That would be fairly nice to get, which would give us, for example, a high maybe around February, so the second month of 2026. I don't even think I pronounced this well. So early 2026 is when we can potentially be looking for a high if we kind of get this price action, okay? Because if we pump first, so if we don't take out the lows this week, so if we just pump first, then of course the timing is going to be a bit different and we could look for a top a bit earlier. But for myself, I would like to kind of get this move up into 2026, which I do believe will trap a lot of people, especially if you take out the low first. Because if you take out the low and then you pump back above these highs, I think that would turn a lot, and I really mean a lot of people, very bullish. Okay, guys. So that was it on the Elliott wave count. I'm gonna keep it right there for the next live stream. I think it looks fairly nice. High around January, February. I hate pronouncing these words. But in any case, it doesn't look like we have any more questions. And with that said, thank you everyone who tuned in the stream, in the live chat. Thank you for sending messages. Of course, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, where we will celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I am with my family and going to be enjoying Christmas. I hope that you are too. And if you're not, well, it's still a very beautiful holiday to be enjoying, to be praying potentially, of course. And with that said, of course, if you could leave a like on the live stream, that would be massively appreciated, because most of the things that we do is for free. And as I said, a lot of the times we do have the most accurate analysis, or at least one of the most accurate analysis on social medias. I challenge anyone to prove me wrong. Every single week we've been calling pretty accurate level. Was it at 84, at 94, at 107, at 105, at 116, at the all-time high? I mean, there's not one short that we missed. I mean, personally, for my execution, I did miss some of them, but on the analysis side, we have been extremely accurate for a pretty long time. So once again, if you guys could leave a like on the live stream, that would be appreciated. And in any case, thank you for tuning in. One last time, Merry Christmas. And with that said, I will see you all tomorrow morning inside the Discord. So see you soon, everyone. See you tomorrow, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And with that said,